We are back live and bringing you all of the great debate conversations. Everybody's talking about it. Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. Who's going to win? I know who's going to win, but we're going to talk about it tonight. Plus, they're eating cats in Ohio. Not making this up. We got this and other surprises for you right after this. We are back.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
We don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street. There's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. Wait a minute, I tell you. You ain't heard nothing.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell! I'm not going to take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore!
I'm mad as hell!
I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore!
And we are back. I know it's been a while since we've been on time and live, but we're here. School started. Everybody's kids and people are back to doing whatever they're supposed to do in September, and summer's over. So we're getting our stuff together because we have, just like almost, not even 3 months till the election. Yeah, we better work hard because one of the biggest elections probably ever in our lifetimes. I know we say that a lot. But this really is the biggest election of our lifetime. It's coming up. So we are all gas, no breaks from here to November. And of course, riding shotgun with me all the way through it all is my puppet pal, patriotic Puppet Carlson. How have you been, Puppet? I know we haven't talked in a while.
I know it's been a while, Dave. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Your manhole's doing okay?
My manhole is great. It's been good without you.
Yeah,
trying to creep in there with the sticking your grubby little paws up the old back entrance. So I appreciate you staying away.
Well, that's good. Somebody's got to tell you what to say. I mean, Puppet, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. I mean,
it has.
Funny enough, it's been kind of slow considering what happened like a couple of weeks ago. I mean, we went from a presidential assassination that Google says didn't happen. We went from that to Joe Biden dropping out of the race for the presidency, but he's totally competent as he lies on the beach
on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Completely his own decision
on Twitter. Clearly his own decision.
Yeah.
We have Kamala becoming the nominee, accepting the nomination,
never getting a vote.
Right. We had a snooze fest of a DNC. Really, really awful DNC.
Right. A warmonger right before Kamala speaks.
Yeah, exactly. We had Joe Biden on the first day. He's like, and then he's gone.
They had no never revealed a platform, never revealed any concrete information.
They don't have to.
No.
The platform is not Trump. That's their platform. I mean,
not Trump.
If they think people are going to vote against something instead of for something, they haven't paid attention. Of course, I'm sure they have some tricks up their sleeves. We've been hearing about a lot of it. And then, of course, you had RFK Jr. Dropping out of the race and endorsing Trump. And now Tulsi Gabbard has thrown her support behind Trump. So it has been.
And Tim Walz's family joined Trump.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
Tim Walz's family, and then for everyone, he's like, Trump has a great niece somewhere that doesn't like him. You know, Tim Walz's whole family hates Tim Walz, and understandably, he's a fraud, he's a phony, he does weird things with his legs, he overstates his military record,
Yeah.
he has policies in his home state that favors Somalis over Americans, puts tampons in boys' restrooms, very how should I say? He allows police departments to be burned down in riots. I mean, that's Tim Walz. And Kamala Harris
thinks that one man's socialism is another man's politeness.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, just be nice.
Hospitality.
Yeah, it's hospitality. And he's trying to be folksy, and he's trying to be like, I'm a coach. Kamala's always like calling him coach. There's legitimately nothing that she does that's authentic. There's nothing. Everything is staged, and I have some clips later.
Everything is staged. They just lie.
Is staged. Everything is staged. It's all lies. None of it's real. I'm going to hold those clips for our panel tonight because we're going to talk about just how phony she is. We're going to preview the debate. But man, nothing she does is authentic, and even the polling is fake. Now, if they think they're going to ride this fake, everything they do is staged. If they think that that's going to convince people to vote for Kamala, they're crazy, and especially after the debate. And we're going to talk about that debate with the panel. And of course, they're eating cats in Ohio now. I mean, just Puppet, when it couldn't get any weirder. Well, I have a puppet on my show. Of course, it's always weird. But just when you think it couldn't get any weirder, now they're eating cats in Ohio. Now they flew.
They could be eating cat puppets. That would be really weird.
That would be really,
that'd be gross.
Yeah.
So but it's gross anyway.
Stringy. I hear puppets are stringy.
Yeah.
Oh, see what I did there? Yeah. Dan Ball loves that laugh, by the way.
Good one. Good one, Dave. That was the first good one you've had since we started.
Well, I try.
Show ever.
I'm learning. I know. I'm working. So apparently, Ohio didn't have enough Haitians. So they took a plane from Haiti and flew to Ohio, and now they're eating cats and geese and I have video of this that we're going to talk about on the panel too. So
100,000, Haitians needed immunity, and there's what do they call that? A safe place. So they sent them up here to Ohio, and now they're eating cats and geese right out of the public park.
Things are going crazy, and even though, of course, Kamala Harris has nothing to do with it because
no,
she's not vice president. When she's president, there won't be the Haitian migrants eating people's pets. No.
When she has like Biden's doing anything.
Yeah. No, Biden was on the beach. Biden's at the beach. There was
she's got full control.
Yeah, right.
If there ever has control.
Not to be honest with you, but there was a stat. He's been on vacation, I think, more than I forget. I'm going to screw it up. I'm going to look this up later. But it was something like he's done 500 lifetimes of regular working people's vacations while he's been president of the United States. I mean, look, we always knew from the beginning he was in the basement. He's been in the basement for his entire presidency. He just couldn't quite hack it. Although I think that's the same Joe Biden that we saw before they got him to get out. I think they pushed him out. And the big test, and I'll talk about this on the panel later, the big test is going to be if they call him former President Trump or President Trump at this debate. Because remember, the last one, there was President Trump. Very interesting choice of words. But I don't want to spend too much time on this because we're going to go to the panel because, Puppet, we have a very special guest coming on tonight. We've previewed this on our social media channels. Now, he's been on our show before. I'm a huge fan of this guy. And it turns out we all know, we know similar people. I met him at it was some convention in Orlando. And I was like, dude, Public Square, what is this? And I started learning about it. I always got sick of going to a place where I'd walk in a Target and I'd have female mannequins with male anatomy, and I wasn't sure what section I was shopping in, and it was just getting really odd. And I'm like, I'm sick of giving my money to these people. I wish there was a way for me to know where I was shopping and what their values were, because I'm sick of giving money to people who don't respect my values because they keep shoving their values down my throat. And so then I found out about Public Square. And if you guys don't know about Public Square, you need to figure it out quickly. Publicsquare.com. It's a website. It's a whole movement, essentially, where you can go and participate in an economy that's for conservatives. And when you're going, you wouldn't even realize how many businesses in your community are conservative. Restaurants, places to buy clothing, but wherever you go, they're in your community and they're on Public Square. So if you haven't checked out Public Square, go to publicsquare.com. But don't take it from me, Puppet. You know why? because we have the CEO,
the man himself,
Michael Seifert. Welcome back to the David Pollack Show, featuring my new puppet pal, Puppet Carlson. And he can be found on Public Square, probably.
I'd like to be found on Public Square. Hello, Michael.
Puppet, it's great to see you.
Great to see you, bud.
I don't think you were with me last time I was on the show.
I wasn't. I was not. I did not talk to you the last time. I was not around. I was still a twinkle in Mike Lindell's eye.
That's what happened. So what happened, Michael, was Michael Lindell was working really late, working really hard to perfect, the Giza Dream Sheets and the patented fill. Promo code Pollack, if anybody wants to save up to 80% side wide. And so he was working late one night, and there was a falling star he wished upon. And he goes, I just wish our kids were more conservative. And out of that wish, and out of a My Pillow, Puppet Carlson was born. He's filled with My Pillow, with the patented fill. You throw him in the dryer, he fluffs right up. And then we have it. The perfect conservative boy. But he's not a boy.
See, the problem is, Mike knew that there were so many puppets on the left. Yeah. We needed a conservative puppet on our side. Yeah. And so now here I am. I can sniff out the puppets on the left. Yeah. I'm the puppet for the people, damn it. And
we have a guy on the inside.
Telling it like it is, and pointing out all the puppets on the left, all the puppets in politics.
Is your hair made of Egyptian cotton?
Yeah, my hair is actually made of Egyptian cotton and clippings from Mike Lindell's last haircut.
His mustache is actually
part mustache, part nose hair, part haircut. Yeah, that's why. I mean,
you're a national treasure, Puppet.
He really
absolutely.
He really is. So Michael, how is business going since the last time we spoke? I mean, everything's blowing up. There's a really cool summit coming up. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to know about Public Square. How are things growing? How are people feeling about finding out where they're spending their money? Tell me, how are things going since the last time we spoke?
They feel liberated. Yeah. In fact, that's probably the word we hear most often when customers leave testimonials of their experience with us shopping. They feel like they have agency again, like they have freedom, like they're not restricted with their dollars anymore. Our encouragement to folks all the time is that everything you do in life, how you vote, how you spend your money, the relationships you build, how you engage in your community, it all should be a reflection of your convictions. So whatever you believe about the world should be exemplified with the dollars you spend, the way you cast your ballot, how you engage in society. For us, we really feel called to fight the economic war. We want to help consumers, patriots in our country, feel like they have liberation with their dollars to spend money in a way that aligns with their core convictions, and it's working. You described it well, David. It is. It's a movement. It's not just a shopping experience. And so today we have 5 million customers. We have over 80,000 small businesses in our community. And this movement is growing faster than I ever could have imagined, frankly. So as woke corporate America is crumbling, as ESG and DEI are really showing their true colors, we have risen as a real alternative for people that want to spend money with small businesses that make their communities special and give them a sense of pride in their country again. It's awesome, and we're having a lot of fun. Not much sleep, but we're working and running hard.
Well, like I told Puppet before you came on, we don't have time to sleep between now and November. I mean, it's all gas because they're trying to take our country from us, and we're fighting really hard. And your company is one of the most crucial elements because we've been funding the opposition. We've been funding them through the way we run our campaigns. We fund them through where we shop, and we finally now have a way to fight back with our pocketbooks. And this is something you guys your company is giving people, and I don't think they realize how powerful of a weapon this is going to be by taking their finances away. We're trying to go out there, register voters. We're going and buying waters for the people on the ground doing it, and we're paying the people that are running against us, and we don't have to do that anymore. And that's what's so cool. And now you're not stopping with just, of course, giving people an alternative to buying things from woke companies. Now you have this summit coming, which I'm really excited about because it's in Orlando where we are. And will you tell us a little bit about this summit that you have coming up here in Orlando?
I would be happy to. We are hosting the inaugural Public Square Summit. It is an economic summit that's going to be focused on building community and equipping with information anybody who has a vested interest in the future of our American economy. If you're tired of woke corporations, if you are a business owner yourself or an economic professional or an investor or a retiree or an employee or simply an interested consumer, you have a place at this summit. We're going to have incredible speakers like Tony Robbins, Donald Trump Jr., Russell Brand, Governor Doug Burgum, who is an amazing tech founder turned governor of the United States in this great state of North Dakota. We have an incredible list of cultural icons like Bethany Hamilton. It's a really amazing community. We're going to have a Shark Tank style investment pitch series where you're going to actually have founders that have built great patriotic enterprises are going to pitch their ideas in front of thousands of people and a panel of investors. And we're going to have great opportunities for you to get to know other people that see the world the way that you do. And it is going to be our move, especially in an election season, to help salvage the American economy so that its brightest days might be before it. We actually believe that you can create an American Renaissance era with our economy by shifting the profit centers back toward we, the people. And this summit is a great way for us in real life to gather this incredible community we've built through Public Square. And it's not too expensive to join us either. It's a great 2-day summit, and you can learn more at publicsquare.com/summit.
Now I have it here. If I get my tech working right,
there you go.
It's right here. Now I'm super excited about it. Of course, we'll be there. Puppet will be untrunked. I will be there as well. And the 10th of October 10th and 11th, you could buy tickets right here, and they're really affordable for what you're getting out of it. And that was one of the surprising things, considering what you're offering. The speakers, the opportunities, if you're a small business person in this economy, and look, I think small business people know more than everybody else when the left is lying to them and say, oh, this economy is great. It's never been better. Unemployment is this and this. And I keep telling them, I'm like, where do you get your data from? Is it just statisticians in Washington, D.C.? Or are you actually talking about people who actually work and live in this economy? Because the people I talk to that are business owners, they're telling me their restaurants are slow. They're telling me they're having a hard time finding people. They're having issues with staffing because people are working multiple jobs and they can't make schedules. The people who work in this economy know that this economy isn't great. And I think that's the focus here, right? Is to help entrepreneurs and help business people, help small business owners survive Kamala Harris's economy. Now, of course, it's not her economy, right? Because she's only vice president. This is Joe Biden's economy. She has no responsibility for this economy. But I'm wondering, Michael, since you've watched this administration from 2020 to now, what is your observation of the economy? What are businesses feeling right now, regardless of how great Kamala Harris says the economy is, that she has no responsibility for, by the way, if you think it's bad?
It's the greatest experiment in gaslighting we have ever witnessed in the modern era. They have told us repeatedly, job numbers are good. Look at it. Look at the BLS. Look at the job numbers. But what you notice, every time the BLS Bureau of Labor Statistics releases job numbers, what do they do 2 weeks later? Puppet, they revise them downwards. They've done this for 6 out of the last 7 months. It's all a fugazi. They keep saying that job numbers are strong, supplier costs haven't risen, but that's not what we're hearing from our audience. If you ask our businesses, and we have over 84,000 of them in our community, over 70% of them say that in the last 12 months alone, supplier costs have risen 3 times over. And we were told inflation ended a year ago. Consumer spending continues to get hit. We are seeing across the board a massive challenge with businesses able to attract new consumers and retain existing ones. People are leaning into credit more than ever. We're seeing credit card balances through the roof. All of this while we are importing millions of people from other countries that end up taking the low-wage jobs. So you've had mass growth amongst foreign-born workers, but the job growth amongst native-born workers has gone completely stagnant. All of these economic realities you can't hide from. Just because the Magnificent Seven, or the 7 largest companies on the stock exchange, might be doing well on paper, that's not a reflection of the overall economy. The overall economy is a massive blaring sign and a signal of pain. Why we're pulling this summit together is that right now, economic professionals more than ever need hope. They need to learn creative and innovative strategies for how they can actually survive in a season of intense adversity. They want to hear from inspirational figures that are in the policymaking world or the economic leadership realm that can help them navigate these tumultuous waters. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we at Public Square want to help connect them to a group of consumers that are absolutely bent on ensuring that their dollars are going to great small businesses that are protecting Main Street, like the ones you can find on Public Square and like the ones you'll find at this summit on October 10th and 11th. So at this summit, we're piercing through the fugazi and the cloud and the falsehoods that we've heard from the Biden administration and from Kamala. We are getting to the roots of the issues and making sure that we can help businesses understand the truth about what's going on in the economy and how they can overcome the hurdles that are associated with it. It's going to be important.
Yeah.
And fantastic.
Puppet, you have to wonder, and look, I'm not an economist, and I'm not a stock market guy, but I do remember a day about, I don't know, a month ago, maybe less than that at this point, a couple of weeks ago, where something happened in Japan. And the next thing you know, the entire stock market went down by like 2% in one day. And everybody was like, "Ooh, this is the beginning of the end." And then all of a sudden, everything was hunky dory. I believe, and James O'Keefe was reporting on this too, that the Fed has been kind of manipulating monetary policy in order to kind of prop up the Biden administration. And I'm concerned. Now, look,
That's
again,
not a surprise.
What's that?
That's not a surprise.
Right. Now, you can call me a conspiracy theorist, but I believe that this economy is actually holding on, especially the market. Talk about the companies that are doing well, Michael. I think it's holding on by a shoestring because they're holding it on by a shoestring. And should Trump win, I think they're going to cut that string, and this economy and the stock market specifically is really going to suffer because you see the fear. Everything you're talking about, the feelings that people have, right? Feelings, Puppet, that you've seen out there. People are feeling the pinch. They just are, that fear is sort of just underneath the skin. All it takes is one thing, whether it be a Iran responding to Israel or whether it be something unfortunate happening in somewhere in the United States, or fill in the blank of other crises that are just brewing underneath the surface with a wide open border and more terrorists in the country that we've had since before 9/11. Anything can happen. And Americans are really just one bad thing away from totally losing confidence in our economy. We're in real trouble. And I'm wondering, what do you think? I mean, am I crazy? Am I wearing a tinfoil hat, or are we really holding things together with chewing gum and duct tape?
Chewing gum and duct tape might even be a stretch.
Yeah, it's true. Duct tape is
and what I would say though is that I don't know that they will hold on by a thread, and then if Trump wins, they'll let it all fall apart. But they won't do the same for Kamala. At this point, I think they only have another 2 or 3 months to hold it on by a thread, regardless of who wins, which means I think that they are trying to sham the American people. They're trying to pull the wool over our eyes to believe that the Biden administration has led to economic strength just long enough to get Kamala elected. And then they're basically going to let the inevitable take place because they don't have a whole lot of other levers to pull to be able to stop this. So at this point, you would have expected a few months ago that the economy maybe would have dealt with even more severe sort of apocalyptic type of environment fall through a few months ago. They have held it through on this sort of like maniacally whispering about what they might do with interest rates to try to kind of keep this false sense of hope. And everybody's waiting on pins and needles, and nobody's quite sure what the world is going to look like post-election. Now, if Trump wins, let's hope, we are going to be able to reduce inflationary policy. We're going to be able to cut corporate taxes, especially for the businesses that make their products in America. That's a recent promise from President Trump. We are going to see a step down from some of the crazy capital policies that Kamala has talked about, like taxing unrealized gains, which would tank our economy before we even could blink. So if Trump wins, we're going to experience a lot of breakthrough that will hopefully right the ship. But at this point, the Fed has created such a mess. The Biden administration has created such a mess. The inevitable has to take place at some point. We're over $30 trillion in debt. We're spending more on interest payments on our debt than we even are on defense. So people ask all the time, what's the one thing holding together the US dollar? What's the thing propping it up? Well, it's our military. Well, the problem now, we're spending more money repaying our own debt just in interest, not counting the principal, than we are spending on that very military that's supposed to undergird the US dollar. So we have a house of cards. It is a powder keg. And I hope to God that when it does fall, we have a great economic wise guy like Trump, who's been a CEO in office, that can help mitigate the damage of that inevitable fall through.
Yeah. And what I'm most excited about is regardless, I mean, we are hoping for Trump and we're hoping for a soft landing thanks to Trump. But either way, if the economy does go in the wrong direction, and small businesses need to weather the storm, they're going to learn all the skills they need to survive at the Public Square Small Business Summit that's coming up here in Orlando here October 10th through 11th. So
Great
make
segue,
sure,
Dave.
thank you. So make sure you go. You can either go to paralleleconomysummit.com or you can go to publicsquare.com, where you should go and go shopping. And then once you're there, you'll see a link to the Public Square Business Summit. You better be there, guys, because you need to learn these skills to survive the incoming storm. You know they're going to tinker with the economy. You know they're going to mess with us, and you need to be shopping at Public Square. Stop supporting companies that hate you. That's what's really important. Michael, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about all the fun stuff that's happening in the country. We're going to talk about the debate. We're going to talk about people eating cats in Ohio. It's going to be nuts, and we're going to talk about it right after this. You sticking around for it?
I'm sticking around.
Fantastic.
Me too.
Guys, don't go anywhere. Well, Puppet can't go anywhere unless he's going to his trunk. So, all right. Don't go anywhere, guys. Dave Pollock Show will be right back.
But it's never been more important to secure your hard-earned wealth for you and your family's future. FinSec Life works to offer industry-leading customer service to help successful individuals and businesses protect their wealth. Whether it's a business succession plan, estate liquidity, or a variety of life and long-term care policies, FinSec Life can help deliver peace of mind, knowing that if something happens, you or your company is taken care of. Visit finseclife.com. That's FINSEC life.com. Securities offered through Valmark Security Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Valmark Advisors Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. FinSec Life is a separate entity from Valmark Securities Inc. and Valmark Advisors Inc.
Business owners, are you sick of dealing with those big-name telecommunications companies that leave you frustrated with terrible customer service and then lock you into long-term contracts? That's why I want to introduce you to my friends over at Public Telephone Company. They are an industry-leading VoIP provider offering all-in-one business communication solutions that are completely contract-free with competitive pricing. But perhaps the best part, they're all about supporting their customers with US-based customer service, and they're always willing to go the extra mile. Don't let your phone company drive you mad. Call Public Telephone Company today at 877-314-4080 or visit them at publictelephonecompany.com. That's publictelephonecompany.com.
Welcome to Raised Right Books, where each tale unfolds with gentle conservative lessons. These stories come alive with hand-drawn illustrations and playful rhymes. If you've been looking for ways to teach your little patriots valuable life lessons, look no further. Discover these delightful stories at raisedrightbooks.org.
All right, guys, we are back for my favorite part of the show, because this is the part where
You didn't like the part that you were on, Michael. That part sucked.
no, like that was great. I love that part of the show. But
we got to move on to the good part.
No. My favorite part of the show is the panel, because it's like we all get to just talk about all the things that we talk about, because every day, you know, Michael,
Think about what you think about.
Puppet just sits in his trunk, and then you let him out. He starts talking. You put him back in his trunk because he won't shut up. But the rest of us, we walk around like, Dave, you have a show. What do you think about? Literally, this just happened before I turned on the TV tonight. I mean, the cameras. What do you think? You heard about these people eating cats in Ohio? I'm like, we're going to talk about it on the show tonight. But what do you think about the debate? Well, you're going to talk about it on the show tonight. This is the part of the show, Michael, that allows me not to have to talk when I'm going to get a drink at the bar after the show is over. When people are like, what do you think? I'm like, did you watch the show? No, we'll go watch the show, and then you'll know what I think. That's why this is my favorite part of the show. This is when I get to answer everybody's questions, so you don't have to ask me anything when I'm not on the show. And if you're not watching the show, well, then you don't get to find out. This is the accountability portion of the show, and that's what I like about it. But here's how it works.
That was a mouthful of nothing. That was a mouthful of nothing. That was like a musician where you're like, stop playing, because that ain't even a good song.
Really? Well, whatever. At least my words are my own. Somebody has their hand up your manhole telling you what to say. I can say what I want, whether it's good or not. Okay, so don't be jealous.
You got a point. I'll give you a point for that.
Thanks. Well, let's not delay any further. I'm going to bring in the panel. You might have saw that awesome new commercial from Raised Right Books. Here is the author of Raised Right Books, Amanda Elizabeth. Welcome to the panel and welcome to the show. She is a regular on our panel. She's a regular panelist on our show, and we're happy to have you. And her books are amazing, beautifully illustrated. And of course, we have one of my.
Hi.
We have one of my new favorite 100,000 followers. Heather, Liberty Valkyrie, she just hit 100,000 followers on X. Like, I don't know what you're pouring on your account, the gasoline, the steroids, or what you're doing, but we're really proud of you here on the show, and we'll take all of the credit for you hitting 100,000 followers. Congratulations and welcome. All right, let me.
Hey, Heather, have you considered using a puppet on your account?
No, that's how she hit 100,000. Yeah. The reason why I'm at 18,000 and she's at 100,000.
My hand is going nowhere near your manhole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to give you a competitive advantage. You see?
No. People go, I'm going to follow Dave. What the hell? Is that a puppet? What? Click. Next one. So,
I got to fix my camera stand. I'm sorry. Something happened.
Well, you might have 100,000. You got to get your TV stuff going here, okay? All right, let me set up
upgrader.
Let me set up the segment, everybody. Sit tight.
I got to tell you, a neck and neck race after watching the last 40 plus days of the media falling over themselves to crown Kamala Harris. I will take that race any day of the week, because every major issue facing our country, the economy, inflation, immigration, foreign policy, Donald Trump is either favored by double digits or has massive leads in each category. So I think that the fact that the swing state polling that is coming in looks like it's a tight race or a tied race favors Donald Trump. He historically underpolls compared to what the actual results look like. I think that trend line continues. And look, Kamala Harris is not talking about policy. She's not talking about specifics. She's not talking about the terrible job she did as vice president. And the American people want answers to all of those things. She's not giving it to the American people. She's not doing that on purpose. That is hurting her. The debate next week is going to be a big deal, obviously. I think Donald Trump's going to be calm, cool, and collected, and once again lay out the fact that under his presidency, everybody was getting ahead in America, and we were all safer at the same time. That's a record of success.
Byron Donalds. Michael, you're a special guest. I'm going to throw it to you first. What are your thoughts? What is going to happen tomorrow when the debate lights go on and the earpiece goes into Kamala's ear?
Well, it broke today on the news that Kamala has been practicing with an actor that is trying to look and talk like President Trump. She also famously 2 weeks ago had to stage a fake dinner in order to practice for a real dinner because she was so nervous that she couldn't handle it. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I think she's going to crumble. That's my hope, at least. You also saw that she was trying to push to have the mute feature on these mics turned off because she wanted her I'm speaking type of moment that she's had in the past. The reality is Kamala is a candidate of vain platitudes. She has no real substance. Her website still does not have an issues section where she actually gives actual policy proposals. She has nothing to offer. Her head is full of air. And at the end of the day, that's going to be revealed on the main stage. The media hasn't given us more than 30 seconds of her that's not scripted since she was crowned as the nominee of choice on the Democrats in a very democratic process, by the way. So I think at the end of the day, we're going to see her crumble. I think Trump, as Byron mentioned, is going to be calm, cool, and collected. I think he learned a lot in the Biden debate performance. It was the best Trump debate performance I've seen since 2016 because he just had his stuff on lock. He was cool. He was collected. And also there's a famous adage from The Art of War, Sun Tzu, never interrupt your enemy when he's making a mistake. And at the end of the day, Trump gets to sit back tomorrow night, and he gets to just watch his candidate make mistake after mistake after mistake as his opponent, and he gets to sit back and watch. I don't think he's going to interrupt her. I think he's going to let it play out, and the American people will see what they need to see. Plus, his track record speaks for himself, and her track record speaks for herself. And at the end of the day, Americans were richer, happier, safer, more protected, and felt a general sense of purpose and alignment to their country in a far greater capacity in 2019 than they feel today in 2024. And I think that's going to speak volumes.
Yeah, you said she doesn't have an issues tab. That's because she is the issue.
Yeah.
I have that clip that you talked about, the don't interrupt me while I'm speaking. So I'll put it up real quick because it's a great point.
I'm speaking. Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
Well, wait.
I'm speaking.
It'd be important if you said the truth.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. Okay. If you don't mind letting me finish, we can then
Please.
have a conversation, okay?
Please.
Okay.
Non-answer.
Trying to answer you
The
now.
American people deserve a straight answer.
I will not sit here and be lectured by the vice president. I'm speaking. Yeah, I'm about to. I will not be lectured by the vice president.
She's nauseating. I mean, just nauseating.
That's probably how she's prepared, Michael, with the Donald Trump actor. She's probably just, I'm speaking. Good job, Kamala. Let's do that from the top one more time. Do a little bit more attitude in that. Then don't forget, you have to encompass all of the ethnicities we're trying to pack in to your administration. So let's do that one a little more East Indian.
That's good. That's good. Do it a little douchier next time.
What do you think, new 100,000 follower count, Heather?
Oh, David. I'm glad the mics are going to be muted. One, because I think that there is a base of Kamala's. Sorry, there's a noise that's
Who's typing? Someone's typing.
No, but
somebody's typing. I don't know who.
Not me.
But I think that I'm going to see if I can get my train of thought back. No, I can't. But I'm going to move on to the other point that I was going to make was that Kamala, we have Puppet that was built by My Pillow. You have Pinocchio that was built by a puppet maker or a toy maker, and you have Kamala that has been built by nothing but pure propaganda. And just like cotton candy dissolves when it gets into water, as soon as she gets pushed on that stage, I don't see how anything she says is going to float. Because one, she's got 3.5 years of crap to go off of that. I don't know how she's going to defend it. Two, how is she going to break herself away from Biden? Because the trajectory that we are currently set on, should Kamala be at the helm of the country, we are going to go from Bidenomics to communomics. Nobody wants that.
No. Amanda Elizabeth, I know that you were typing up what you wanted to say because you had a point. And you're like, oh, man, Heather is making such a good point that I'm just going to make notes now so I don't forget.
I did that to steal her point. I wanted to.
Oh, yeah. That was my point. What say you?
I think that as long as Trump sticks to referencing what's going on right now and the reality of how Americans feel, I think he's going to do amazing. I just don't think that Kamala has anything to stand on unless she's getting fed, talking points through her earpiece. I don't think that she's going to have anything to say. And I love that they kept the mics muted because that was what they did for Joe Biden. So why wouldn't they do that for her as well? And like you were saying, Michael, you're right. She does just want that like gotcha moment. And she wants to use that condescending tone of voice to make Trump look inferior. But I'm really glad that that's not happening and that she didn't get that for this debate. I think it's going to be great as long as Trump just sticks to referencing what's going on now, because she's promising all sorts of things, saying, when I get in office, I'll do this. When I get in office, I'll do that. But she's in office right now. Why haven't you done that for the past 3.5, 4 years? If you were going to do it, you would have done it by now. And same with Trump. The left is so afraid that he's going to destroy the country. If he was going to do that, he would have done it in his last term. So, yeah,
I hate that argument. I'm sorry. They're just like, Trump's going to be a dictator. Hello, he was already in office.
Yeah,
Stop
and
with
he
the
left
gaslighting.
office.
He didn't even prosecute Hillary, which we all were dying for him to do.
Right.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think he was pretty tame. So I'm excited to watch it. I'm going to go to a debate watch party in Naples at Seed to Table. So I'm excited.
Yes, that is the spot. That's also a proud public store business. I highly recommend. Seed to Table is the best grocery store in America, run by a patriot that has Trump 2024 wrapped around his Range Rover. It's awesome.
Yep. Seed to Table is the hot spot down here.
Yes.
So I'm excited.
Conservatives supporting conservatives, thanks to Public Square. And Amanda going and doing business there. Puppet, what do you think is going to happen at the debate? Do you think Kamala's going to be the ultimate puppet?
Yeah, well, she is the ultimate puppet. The only thing she has been standing on is Biden's neck. And, she has been doing that and not doing much else. She has no platform put out publicly. That's because if you actually knew what her platform is, no one would ever vote for her. So she has been systematically parroting some things that Trump's been saying, trying to move to the moderate side. But everyone knows, anyone who knows anything about what she said in the past, or anybody who's looked up anything she said in the past, knows she's anything but moderate. And, you know, even Bernie Sanders recently said in an interview when he was asked about Kamala's shift toward the moderate side of the liberal left party, he said, yeah, well, she can see that in order to get elected, she needs to be more moderate. So she's doing what she needs to do to get votes. Well, that's called pandering. That's BS. And what we all know is even if she's saying that, she's not actually going to do that once we elect her. It's the old gotcha ta-da that the liberals left is so famous for.
Yeah, well, I got some video of this pandering here. Check it out. Here's the honest Kamala Harris.
What is that about? What is that about? I think you understand. I'm pretty sure you know.
Oh, it's going to be good. We're going to be good. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. We are all in this together.
Yes, we are.
We're going to be fine.
We are.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Thank you so much.
Did you get some spices today?
Oh, absolutely.
You did? Oh, it's all good. It's all good. We're standing strong.
This thing, right? By the way, it came out later that woman who was so crying and just so happened to be there for Kamala to give a warm embrace to, she was actually working on the campaign. So just happened to be in the spice store, emotional. That Kamala is there in a totally not staged moment. Oh, who is that lady crying over there? And and then the other thing, why is a white lady in a spice store? Because did you notice that weird spice thing came out when Tim Walz, they did that stupid dinner thing when Tim Walz was like, yeah, I eat tacos with tuna fish or something weird. And she's like, any spice on it? What is her deal with spice stores and asking white people if they eat spices? That is odd. And she said it twice here. I'm going to tell you what I think about the debate real quick, and then we could talk about Kamala's, I can't even say her name, Harris's.
Hey, Dave, can I interrupt? Because I do want to say,
of course.
Speaking of Michael's business, Public Square, and conservative companies, that spice store that were in Penzies is absolutely the opposite of a conservative marketplace. That place is a liberal. That company is a liberal piece of crap company that offends their customers if they don't vote liberal. That nobody in this group should ever shop there. And so I just wanted to say that out loud. That's because it's necessary.
We might end up with a lawsuit from Penzies at this point, but no, whatever. You know,
I'm just saying my personal opinion.
Plenty of lawyers on Public Square to help us out.
I have a puppet personal opinion. You know,
they've called all Republicans racist and Nazi extremists. A spice store.
A spice store.
A spice store. Yeah.
Well, then that's why, and again, it's a cheap plug, but that's why I like Public Square so much, because you allow people to know that. I used to shop at Penzies in Winter Park, Florida, back before I knew that they were a socialist, America-hating, anti-Trump company. And I didn't know because I didn't have Public Square. I didn't have a way of knowing that this company was a piece of crap. And now I know, thanks to your website.
Michael, you got a spice store?
Lots of them.
Great.
Absolutely. Whatever you're looking for, check it out. Absolutely.
This is what's so cool about it, guys. I mean that. Publicsquare.com. If you're going to go buy spices, don't support companies that hate you. But let me give you my take on what I think the debate's going to be. And I was on a show earlier, an oppositional show, a Democrat show, and because they always call me up to give me the Trump opinion and tell me I'm a cultist. But here's my thing, and I said this before the Joe Biden-Trump debate. Everyone knows who Trump is, right? Trump's base is expecting a certain Trump. The middle of the road folks, even though they might not like the things Trump says, they know what they're getting with Trump. The left, who don't support Trump, well, they're not going to like anything he says. So really, what does Trump have to lose or gain in this debate? Really, all Trump has to do is gain, because he's not going to lose his base, and he's not going to lose that middle chunk that's leaning Trump if he doesn't seem nice, because they don't expect him to be nice. So he can't out-Trump himself. Now, if he shows up, like Amanda was saying, and he sticks to the issues, he might impress some people that were leaning Kamala and thought he was going to say crazy stuff. And they're like, wait, actually, he's not the person they vilified in the media. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. When Kamala goes, I'm talking, I'm speaking, or when she calls him an 18-count felon or whatever she's going to say, when he's not a felon because the sentencing has now been postponed until after the election, interestingly enough. But when she tries to call out the lawfare waged against him, I think Trump actually comes out ahead as long as he is the best version of Trump possible. But even if he's having a bad night, he still doesn't lose. The biggest potential loser tomorrow night, and she's already a loser, but I mean a loser in the debate, is Kamala. Because if she comes off condescending in that whole, like we've seen, I'm speaking, if she can't answer a question, if she seems disingenuous, if we get the fake hugging Kamala, the pretzel factory Kamala that I'm going to show you here in a second, I think Americans are going to hate her. They hated her in the Democrat primary. They didn't like her in the vice presidential debate. They didn't like her as vice president, and they don't like her now. And as Michael pointed out, she wasn't even democratically elected. Nobody even vetted this woman. So they have no idea how much people hate her. And because all she does is believe her own BS, and everybody around her just fills her head with the same BS. So I think tomorrow night, Trump wins no matter what, regardless of what the media says, because the media is going to say Kamala won, how great she was, how awesome it is that an African-American woman could be on this stage, what a historic moment, and how disgusting Donald Trump. They're going to do whatever they have to do to make it seem like Kamala Harris just did the impossible, most historic debate performance ever. But I think the American people aren't going to buy it, because the American people, they're going to see this Kamala Harris.
Give me a bag of pretzels to give Doug, because he actually would be really upset if I did not bring him because I can tell you that he like secretly eats pretzels at night.
Does
and
he
he's
really?
like, and I'm like,
Honey, you got to slow down on
well,
the pretzels.
he can steal it.
It's just only a few.
Oh my God!
Oh, he's gonna love this.
Yeah,
That's
well,
very. I will tell him.
Thank you so
Oh, that's
much.
yum.
Yeah, thank you.
Yum.
Oh, pretzels. What a coincidence. My husband he eats pretzels every night. And I tell him, no, don't eat the pretzels. But now I have these pretzels. Oh,
What's with the pretzels and the Doritos and the convenience store and the spices? She said more about junk food than she has about policy.
Well, her policy is junk. And
It's
so
a junk policy.
I mean, this is what we got. She's disingenuous, and it's going to play out. Now, guys,
But
I go ahead.
And I just wanted to add.
Wait, hold on. Before you go, Amanda, do you have to type anything?
Nope. All good. I'm writing down.
Go ahead.
It was just like my brain was like, "What is that noise?" As I was trying to No, but
I learned my lesson.
No, I just find it really insulting that they do these things. Like the woman that's crying actually works for her on her campaign. You know, this junk food, like everything is so staged.
Fake.
And the only way that they can present Kamala as like a relatable person is only with a script and only if it's staged. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no like Kamala just being herself doesn't resonate. So the only way that they can do this is by, unfortunately, we do have a lot of dumb people because they lop it up.
Yeah.
And then the rest of us cringe.
Even her hand movements look stupid.
Well, speaking of lapping things up, we're going to talk about eating cats in Ohio. But before we go to that, Ali Leger has joined us. I want to welcome her to the panel. She's at a Moms for America event, I think, or some sort of You're on Capitol Hill tonight trying to save America with a bunch of other moms. Ali Leger is the director of
Are you serious?
Civic engagement.
Serious, David. Civic engagement.
Civic engagement.
Can you get an easier title? Can you just be like president and CEO?
Different last name, a different title. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, her name's Ali. I call her Ali Leger. I screw up her title. But anyway,
I mean, it's not enough that I'm not a DEI hire. You're trying to completely erase my whole identity, David. Golly.
Now I'm going to talk about eating cats. Check it out.
The fire is.
Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile with your teeth. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society to see if they'll come pick this cat up.
She's got
where did Heather go?
Some kind of breath that I can't say on TV. I think she's got a fur ball between her teeth.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Well, Allie, I was going to throw it to you first since you're new to the stage.
Well, I mean, this kind of goes in line with why I'm here, right? So I'm here on the Capitol Hill in DC because we're advocating against the EATS Act, which essentially corporatizes and gives it gives all of our farmland to China. And if you wouldn't trust your Chinese food down the street to make sure you're actually eating chicken, why are we surprised or allowing, these illegal migrants to come over and eat our pets? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, leave it to the Chinese food to eat the cat, right?
But so the reason why I say that is because when communists take your food, you will do anything to eat. And that is what they're doing. This is all on purpose, right? So just keep that in mind while you're watching this. They want you to eat nothing. They want you to eat bugs. They want you to eat cats. They want you to eat all the birds because now there's bird flu. You're going to come down with monkeypox. Like, I don't know. I think there are bigger issues that we could be talking about, like the missing 400,000 children we have that are being human trafficked and sex trafficked and organ trafficked by way of our government because of our open border. Kamala Harris, thank you. Not really. But yeah, this is very disturbing.
Kamala Harris is the worst borders are in history. Michael, what do you think about this whole Ohio cat eating thing? It's odd. It came out of nowhere. But it's really not playing well. I mean, the memes on X today, by the way, have been the funniest meme I have ever seen. I mean, I have been thoroughly amused today because of Kamala Harris and people eating cats. But what's your take on it?
Well, you can always count on the internet for comedic relief. My favorite meme today was a picture of the Gadsden flag with a cute little puppy on it that said, "Don't eat me," instead of "Don't tread on me." So yeah, we have to laugh through the pain. What I can say is that, this is a playbook that's been repeated time and time again. The Biden administration shipped 20,000 people, Haitians, not to New York, not to Massachusetts, not to Los Angeles, shipped them to a small majority white rural town in Ohio that voted for Trump in 2020 and 2016. So they'll import these foreigners that do not share our culture. They have a totally different value system. They did not come here based upon merit. Many of them are military-aged males. And these Democrats do not have to face the consequences of their own policy actions. The more disturbing reality, it's already disturbing enough that you've got Haitians eating people's pets in a rural town in Ohio, and that it's all part of a plan to basically dilute the vote and make sure the Democrats stay in power forever. The deeper disturbing thing is that many people are assuming that these people are eating pets because they're hungry. The reality is many of these people are on food stamps. They're eating the pets in many cases because it's steeped in witchcraft and voodoo. The Haitian culture has a long, sadly dark history of practicing witchcraft and actually eating pets like this as a form of ritualistic sacrifice and almost an omen to their religious principles. So what is really hunger versus what is just weird cultural stuff? I don't know. We know that there's probably a level of both. But this goes back to the reality that for a long time in our country, we had an immigration system that was purely based on meritocracy and excellence. You only came to this country if you had something positive to offer the country as it exists today. How does these 20,000 Haitian migrants help our country in any way, shape, or form? If you can give me an answer, I'll wait. But there's not a way that they help. There's not a way at all. In fact, they only dilute, they only harm. And are some of these people maybe nice and salt of the earth? Sure. But at the end of the day,
they help control the pet population, as Bob Barker suggested.
Yeah. It's not the type of pest control that I want in our country. And I think we need to just take a pause.
You know what it reminds me of? You guys remember Pet Sematary?
Oh,
yeah. Ugh.
Well, look, before I go to you, Amanda, I want to show you now. A lot of people today, the Democrats are out going, "Oh man, we have to cover for the cat eating in Ohio," and so they're all out there pretending that this isn't real. They're saying, "Oh, the Springfield Police Department or whatever said that this isn't a real video." Now, because this, I guess,
like the apartment takeover.
What's that?
I said, like the apartment takeover. That's not
real. That's not real either. That's not real either. But check it out. So now I found this video from a council meeting in this same city where somebody's exactly saying that this happened in that town. So check it out.
I'm out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits or something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with.
I mean, Amanda, that's what, this
segues perfectly into what
is the actual impact on the community? It's not just they're eating their pets, right?
Yeah. Right. The thing that struck me the most about this when I first heard about it, on X, I looked it up, and the whole first 3 pages of Google is just articles from the big media sources saying this isn't true, blah, blah, blah. We know how they spin everything. And then on X, I've been getting a lot of liberal content recently. I don't know if you guys have also experienced that. On my feed, there's just a lot of liberal content there. But I've been seeing what other people are saying about it, saying it's not true, this and that. And to Allie's point, at what point did we stop believing the common person and stop thinking about what the people are saying? Nowadays, the Aurora thing not happening because the police and the news are telling us it's not happening. The migrants eating cats. We have people there's multiple videos of people at the board meetings talking about how the migrants are affecting them. But no, that's not happening either. People not listening to mothers, about the thousands and thousands of mothers that have come out about how their children are injured by vaccines. We don't listen to people anymore. And the left specifically doesn't listen to the common person. They hate their neighbors, and they're the types of people that will call the police on their neighbors when they're having too many people over on Thanksgiving during COVID. And it's just so backwards, how the left has become this pillar of we love big pharma, we love the FDA, and we only will have the thoughts that the big news media outlets want us to have. And it just is sad that they don't trust this person that has everything to lose on social media saying, watch your cats, because we saw one of them strung up in a tree today at my neighbor's house who was missing her cat. They won't listen to her, who has everything to lose by posting that, but they'll, listen to the big news media that has everything to lose if it comes out that it's true. So it just kind of makes me sick.
No, I want to throw it over to you, Michael, for the last word, because what's your global take on all of this? And don't forget to remind everybody of where they can find you and support the right kind of businesses and find us all in Orlando.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me on. It's great to meet all of you. And Puppet, I hope you'll be here next time. I'm back as well. You seem like a nice additive to the show.
Thank you.
Yes.
See, Dave?
Mike Lindell's brainchild. I would say at the end of the day, this goes back to my first point. It's a global experiment in gaslighting to see how much the people will tolerate. Amanda's exactly right. We have videos of a lady getting arrested for eating a cat. We have
eyewitness testimony.
We have a picture of a guy carrying a goose by the neck walking across the street. We have multiple written and verbal testimonies that this has been going on for a long time, and multiple documented city council meetings, just like the one you just saw on the video. So at the end of the day, Amanda's right. Who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe your neighbors, or are you going to tell them, like the corporate media is, that you can't believe your eyes? You have to trust us. Just listen to us. The economy's great. Biden crushed it. He's not old. Kamala has her stuff
Sharp as a
completely
tack.
together, and she has a long seasoned track record of political accomplishments. She's not totally a nervous freak that can't get her words right. We have no problem putting her out there. The election in 2020 was not at all tampered with. 2016 was stolen by the Russians, though. I mean, these people continually peddle lie after lie after lie. And I have a glimpse of
Don't forget the laptop.
Yeah, you can't forget the laptop. You can't forget COVID. My goodness. At the end of the day, the people are waking up, which gives me a silver lining in all of this. I think the more that they push this to the extreme, the more that people are starting to sit back and say, wait a second, you can't keep telling me that my eyes aren't witnessing what I'm witnessing, because I'm just going to stop believing you. It's happened to formerly leftist family members of mine that for a long time were like blue dog Democrats for the working man, watching CNN, believing every word Anderson Cooper said. And now they're saying that it's all BS. They've completely opened their eyes to the reality of what's happening on the ground. That's my hope for the American future, that the truth will be so enticing that there's this great awakening that takes place where people spit out the old, the propaganda that they've been peddled to for decades now, and they actually embrace truth. They embrace individualistic thinking where they're doing the research themselves and they're actually believing the very things that are in front of their eyes. When they do that, they will recognize that our country has two paths. One path that leads to prosperity, safety, cleanliness, security, and the other path that leads to continued destruction. And my hope is that come November, we see the former winning out. We need it more than ever. And obviously, we're here to fight the economic war to help you vote, not just with your ballot, but with your dollars. And if you're interested in doing that, you want to support businesses that love you and this country, you can head to publicsquare.com. Dave, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, Michael, thank you for joining us. And I'm looking forward to seeing you here in Orlando in next month. And I hope everybody watching tonight and listening, and you guys are going to be there too, because Puppet will be there. Michael's going to be there, of course. Don Jr. is going to be there. A lot of great, awesome speakers. You don't want to miss it. I'll be there, of course. You can miss me all day.
Heather's going to be there.
What's that?
Heather, you're going to be there, right?
In Orlando? Well, we're going to try. Amanda Elizabeth's going to be there. With her fantastic conservative content. So we're going to have a great time in Orlando. Michael, thank you so much for being on the show. And that's all the time we have for tonight. So I appreciate you being here for the show. We've had a great time. I want to tell Just Jim over on pill.net, who gave us a can over there. Yes, it was cat sushi. And so
gross.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Enjoy the debate. And thank you guys for being the best part of everything that we do and watching our show. Good night, everybody. And thanks for watching.
Good night, guys.
Bye. We're gonna be over on XSpaces.